Hey everyone, how you doing out there? It's Joe and Darren over at Urban Hillsides Real Estate. Thanks for joining us today. It's another edition of Real Estate Reality, Thursday, 2 p.m. So thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always join us later. If you like what's going on, please follow us, like us, tell your friends, tell your enemies. We're trying to put some great content out here for you, so help us out. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah.
Staying busy, staying active,
Yeah.
enjoying this weather. Just facing the challenges of
Yeah.
the real estate world these days.
Well, the conversation about weather, we can all, commonly talk about it, but I love how quickly it's gone to fall.
Yeah, me too.
There's
Sure.
there's no kind of, that September they can kind of get hot and you're like, where is it? Where is it? It's here. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, guys, we're going to do the usual. We're going to talk about a topic that we feel is important this week. And this week it is about buyer agents and their buyers and the future of that relationship and how it relates to the future of real estate. So pretty serious stuff. We'll talk about some possibilities in the future. We're going to talk about solds in the last 7 days, actives that Darren feels are important, either as a value or just a beautiful listing. And we'll always talk about mortgage rates. Some big news has come up and some predictions have been made. We'll see what happens there. Okay, I think that's it. Let me go ahead and move into the most thrilling part of our program. There we go. Okay. There it is. Let's see.
For the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only.
All right. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead to Mortgage News Daily and change a couple things here. Let me go to the 30-year. We'll see what that looks like. Well, there it is. And the latest number is for today, drum roll. Ouch. Did that say 7.47? It did.
It did, man.
It went up.
Pressing to possibly go beyond the most recent high of a couple weeks ago. Yesterday we were in a conversation. First off, I guess, we should backtrack. This just seems obvious to us because we're in this every day. But the Fed met yesterday, decided not to move the Fed funds rate, which typically has some correlation to the 30-year mortgage rate, not directly tied to it. But they did what was expected. And I think it was already baked in. But then they added to that, and this is, mortgage rates are even prediction of the future as much as any other investment component on some level.
Right.
And that additional component was language behind that suggesting that there would be one more interest rate hike before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we've seen a spike.
Yeah.
And that yesterday we were speaking with the client. We're like, well, they didn't move, but let's see how this additional news affects rates. They went up a little bit yesterday, and then they definitely went up again today. So
Yeah.
here we are.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Up, one down, which was good. But yeah. Okay. And then let's go ahead and look at the rest of the mortgage rates for this week. 7.47, the 30-year fixed. 15-year fixed, 6.75. 30-year jumbo, 7.4. 5/1 ARM, 7.15. 30-year FHA, 6.9. 30-year VA, 6.92. And definitely in negative territory, significantly weaker is the rate trend for Thursday as we see it. Gosh, man, anything else on this one? Or?
No, all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
Downward pressure on pricing, but as long as inventory stays low. is what it comes down
Yep.
to.
Okay. All right. Well, let's power out of that. And I guess we will move into our topic, buyer and agent crisis. Let me pull up a couple things here. Now, what you sent me earlier, was that what you were suggesting to read, Darren? Was that it?
Yeah, I think we should show the article, but that's really what we need
Yeah.
to cover in the
Yeah, yeah,
article.
yeah.
We can quickly summarize the beginning of it.
Yeah. Let me just pull that up. Okay.
All right.
Hold on here. Okay. Let me go ahead and share this thing here. So this comes from Inman.com. It's an industry site for agents and brokers and people in the real estate industry. And it's about the latest news on a couple antitrust suits. RE/MAX settles bombshell commission lawsuits for $55 million. So I'm not going to read all of this. It's definitely a great read. It's a long read, but let me go ahead and point out just the synopsis here. Hold on. Darren, let's see.
So we'll chat about the early stuff
Yeah.
a little bit. This is a lawsuit that was filed last year and has been a topic of conversation in the industry a little bit. For those who really like to dive deep, there's definitely been following it to see where it goes. It's based on, whether the industry can force a commission to be paid to a buyer's agent, which is why our topic is about buyer agent and buyer relationships. And RE/MAX is the second company to settle. This is by far the biggest one who settled and one of the biggest companies.
Yeah. Now just to remind you though, Anywhere, which represents Sotheby's, a couple other brands that we all know, settled a couple weeks ago at $83 million. So we're getting up there.
Yeah, it's the truth. So some settlements are happening, and I believe in both cases, some practices are being agreed to be changed. So there will be some industry shifts based on this, on these settlements, and also we'll see what happens with the remaining companies who haven't settled. Assuming they all won't, and then it'll go to trial, and we'll see how it comes out on the other side. But with that said, I'll go ahead and let you jump into some of the context from the article that I wanted to make sure we read through.
Cool. All right. So the suits allege that some NAR rules, including one called the participation rule, that requires listing brokers to offer buyer brokers a commission in order to list a property in a realtor-affiliated multiple listing service, violate the Sherman Antitrust Act by inflating seller costs. In January 2022, Anywhere became the only defendant so far to publicly call for NAR to make the participation rule optional rather than a requirement. Pro-competitive, pro-consumer local MLS broker marketplaces ensure equity, efficiency, transparency, and market-driven pricing options for home buyers and sellers. The practice of the listing broker paying the buyer broker's compensation saves sellers time and money by having so many buyer brokers participating in that local marketplace, and thus creates a larger pool of buyers for sellers. For buyers, these marketplaces save them the burden of extra costs at closing, enable them to receive professional representation, and make home ownership possible for more people. In fact, the U.S. model of independent local broker marketplaces is widely considered the best value and most efficient model in the world, with no hidden or extra costs and with more complete, verified information compared to other countries. We look forward to arguing our case in court. So there are still some companies and NAR that are holding off and have not settled yet. So brokerages, like Keller Williams and some others. So it's not finished just yet. So what do you think, man? What's the future of all this? What are some comments?
There's going to be some industry shakeup of some kind, undoubtedly.
Right.
I do think some of the comments made there are completely legitimate. Buyers, there are certainly buyers who feel empowered with data and information that's available now over the past 15 years. And there are buyers who feel empowered to go directly and not have an agent. And some do. But I will say that and seeing enough of those transactions, they usually, they aren't always as represented as they could be. They're not negotiating the best they can, or getting the most professional advice that could be given. And that is 100% accurate. It is also, it does bring more professionals to the industry. Like real estate's a very competitive field. And often agents rank at the low end of respected professionals in general across the board. But I will tell you this, those that are good at their job are right up there. They do a very good job, very thoughtful, it's very involved. But there are a lot of them that don't. The entry point into real estate is too easy.
You know what? You're right. I mean, there's definitely good and bad to this. We've already seen a good number of agents leave the business because of the downturn, just what's happening now in the market. This will further that. And for the good agents and the customers, the consumers that do recognize that they need an agent, we will prevail for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of whether the industry and or consumers see the value in that buyer's agent. There's so much more. We always talk about so much more than the transaction in the moment. It's the preparation. It's getting you ready to do this. It's bringing you the information, and it's being available well after the sale, throughout home ownership. And, do people feel empowered enough to gather all that information and take those steps forward without any help? In some cases, they do. I'm not going to dispute that. It doesn't mean they couldn't have done it better with a professional, but they feel empowered. And that gives them the opportunity to do it. And they can go out and do it without someone. And where does the industry go with that? It will be interesting. To see if they're, my guess is if they take the example of, it's not required. Now you have listings out there without offering a commission to a buyer, and you have listings out there with offering a commission to a buyer's agent.
Well,
how does all that play out?
Well, what I'm wondering is, will everything remain the same in some sense? From the seller's side, I mean, you do want naturally the largest breadth of buyers and buyers agents looking at your listing. If you don't offer up any sort of commission, I think it's obvious you may not get as much attention. Will it just remain the same in some way?
Ironically, what will happen is, and this is, there seems to continue to be potentials of it, us reverting or digressing back to 15, 20 years ago. Because in essence, what I mean by that is just lesser information, lesser accuracy. So if this comes into play and there's no more buyer agents, buyers are on their own. Maybe they can see the listing, but are the filters on the system they're seeking on as good? Do you have an additional layer of oversight? So there's going to be, there would be more lawsuits. There would be maybe listings that get sold without a lot of competition for whatever reason, intentional, not intentional. Maybe it was placed wrong. I mean, us agents, we're like combing through stuff to find opportunities to get to our buyers when we're representing buyers. And that just wouldn't happen. Or if we found a listing, the reality is we go, okay, Mr. Buyer, if you want me to show you this listing, you're going to have to pay me. And they say no.
You're saying by performance or by level of performance.
Right.
Even quality of performance. It might turn into that.
It will change. And there'll be a lot more there'll definitely be more chaos in the industry. Where it comes out on the other side, I don't know, but getting to the other side would be messy.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I know you spoke of it. Will this bring more power, obviously, to the listing and the listing agent who'll represent both sides?
Right.
But again, you've got some conflicts there.
Well, and as a listing agent, gonna want? My guess is no, they won't represent both sides. Like,
Right?
there might be
This
a
is
whole.
crossing over into other issues, right?
Why would they? They don't want double the liability. It's
Right.
hard to represent both sides if you have if you're trying to do the best, because you can't always do the best for both sides. What we tell people when we do is, well, look, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to kind of be a neutral here. We're the we're just gonna be delivering information and as clear as we can, so you can make good decisions.
Yeah, or will the broker at the brokerage become more important in terms of marshaling that? Because that's a busy broker, I think.
Right.
That's
Who writes the offer? There might be a whole nother service of just offer writing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Or are these flat fee, cutthroat, not good quality necessarily, brokerages going to swoop in on this opportunity?
Well, that's just kind of your offer writing.
Try to chop it up? Yeah.
Sure. I'm going to pay someone $1,000 to go write and submit my offer, and make sure all the boxes are checked. But yeah, it's just somebody who understands the form. They're not advising you. They don't know the market. They really can't give you a lot of guidance. They probably haven't seen the house, et cetera, et cetera. It will change things. So
Yeah.
that's two down, right? Two big people down. There's a few more. So I'll be curious to see where it goes, and then overall how it affects the industry.
Yeah. Well, right. And as you're saying, it's okay, well, there's the NAR, there are these settlements acknowledging, and then there are all these MLSs. There's a split there now. Those MLSs are going to have to make way for the anywhere brokerages and the Remaxes that have settled and not require them to.
Right. MLS agents would drop off for sure. There'd be fewer MLSs. The MLSs would go through probably a reasonably large consolidation themselves.
Wow.
Because they won't be making nearly as much money, and their revenue stream, their way of making money would change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it would be
Good
less
stuff.
local, less accurate, because it just gets bigger. In the end, it's funny. I think they're trying to make it smaller and more personal, but some of this actually, the only people who can make money then is by being bigger.
Right. Right. Well, I'll give you an example. I guess it's a microcosm or smaller story, but I think it's saying the same thing. So up on Scotland, there was a listing, and the owner decided to go with something called Homecoin. I don't know if you know those guys, right?
Yeah.
Based out of San Diego, that's MLS only. They'll just you pay them and they'll put it on the MLS. And it sat there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Just watched it, walked by there with my dog. And sure enough, a fairly well-known agent, Pittsburgh, they changed finally, and 12 days later, sold. Just like that. So, you want to cut corners as a consumer, but this isn't going to the supermarket to buy your fresh head of lettuce. This is a little different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, great. Let's go ahead and move on now to this week's sold top picks, and really the local market of Northeast LA and what happened in the last 7 days. So bear with me here. Let's see. I'm going to stop the screen, present, share screen, and let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So these are the stats as we know them over the last 7 days. Just to go to the bottom here, let's see.
What? Joe, you're starting at the bottom, not the top this time?
No. I'm just thinking about. Oh gosh, this thing went ugly on me. Hold on. So, the bottom. What I meant is in terms of solds, pendings, and actives, and then a couple stats that we follow. So, solds. It was, I believe, if I can read this correctly. God, I can't, man. It's horrible. Well, here, I'm going to open up something else. It's just too confusing for me.
I can read it off for you, Joe. Oh, yeah, that part
Can you
did get weird.
please?
But in the other one you sent, I can read it. Let me see here.
Yeah, I know what happened to mine. Let's see. Here.
There we go. I got it. All right, solds.
All right. Yeah.
We had 10 solds.
Right.
12 last week, 15 the week
Right.
before, 13 the week before. They're pretty consistent in numbers. It's come down off a pack of higher teens, mostly. Compared to actives, 32, 40, 36, 25, 24. So our inventory continuing to increase. Pendings in the middle there are closer to matching up with our solds, 14, 18, 5, 18.
Yeah.
But inventory's there. So I will say maybe there's an anomaly in here in that sometimes one of the things that happens is it isn't just a continual build. It doesn't always go from active and end up at sold. It can certainly go off the market. It can also, and this would tweak the numbers from the way we're analyzing them, it could go on the market, be canceled, and then back on the market again. And then from our stats, we're looking at 2 actives, and there was really only 1. And that definitely happens. So we're definitely seeing more actives than solds still.
Yeah. Days on market, 19.5. Up a bit. Last week it was 22 days on the market, was the median. And then finally, in terms of percentage to list price, 105%. So still a premium there. Last week it was 101%. But pretty much in that, say, 2 to 10% rise on any sort of list price. So still very strong for a seller. All right, well, let's go ahead and look at a couple of these. We're going to go to, let's see here. Hold on. Big winner this week was 1503 North Benton Way. I think you're familiar with this one, Darren.
Yes, I think we are familiar with it.
This, hold on. List price $1,595,000. Let me go ahead and show this to you guys. There you are. $1,595,000. The sold price $2,151,000 for a $556,000 increase. 135% of the list price. Days on market 9 only. And my notes were pretty much marvelous home, great seller, great agents, great buyers, happy for all. So tell us about this one.
Well, it was an emotional property.
Absolutely.
Really was. It drew out 2 types of people at that price point. It did bring out the potential.
Really the extremes.
Yeah. Complete remodelers, because it needs some work. Definitely needs some work. As well as owner occupants. And, what's going to drive the highest price? We see it every single time. If you can get to an owner-occupant status, loan qualifying status on a house, even if it's considered needing remodeling, you're going to open up your pool of buyers. And that is what happened here. Not close to everything was done, but certainly the buyers that ended up purchasing this saw all the potential that this could bring. Some of them lesser dramatic things. Exterior paint job would have a huge impact. Some landscaping would have a huge impact. And then some bigger things, kitchen, bathroom. Foundationally, though, and all the systems were in very good working order. So it had enough to draw in that buyer in this competitive market that would
Yeah.
pay market price.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I know you've had a very long relationship with the family there. I was happy to see who bought it.
Yeah.
Family, already sold, lived as neighbors, a couple streets over. Really, really great family, and I know they're going to be there a good long time. I'm sure of that. Just like our sellers, so that felt good for sure.
Yeah, and I agree that the house offered that option to be
Hmm.
that 20, 30-year house. Doesn't mean they will be there, but it offers that opportunity to grow into the space.
Yeah, yeah, cool. All right. Well, congrats on that. Let me go ahead and move to our next one. That's 1703 North Avenue 45. Bear with me, guys. Let's see. Oh boy, there I am. And stats here started at 850,000. Very curious price. Landed at $1,150,500. A $300,500 increase in price. Same 135% of the list price. 12 days on the market. Let's take a look at what the buyers saw. Just bear with me here, guys. Right here. Okay, so let me hit the screen here. All right, 1703 North Avenue 45. This is in Eagle Rock. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 966 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,150,500. 4,300 square foot lot. 12 days on the market, as I said. This is brought to us by Mary Dix on the seller's side, and on the buy side, Elizabeth Daly. So congrats to all there. Darren, some of my notes, and I know this is a constant theme for us, and we're just as guilty, it looks like, with our sale at 1503 North Benton Way. But I think this was badly priced. It was priced too low. Obviously, we felt $1,595,000 was a reasonable conservative price for our place, but this was really badly priced. And it makes me say, money left on the table? I don't know. I think this was a flip, to my memory. I think we showed this or talked about this with Yomar. It was in bad condition, really bad condition. So looks like they did a nice job.
Yeah, it looks great. I like this little pocket. It's close to the freeway. That's the one negative of this little pocket, but it's super clean.
Yeah.
The house looks clean. The one difference I would say, that difference that I'm going to identify conveniently works in our favor, was that we didn't have a completely move-in ready product, and we weren't sure if that owner occupant who will do all the remodeling was going to come. When we see these houses, this is just straight up comparable to other finished houses.
Absolutely.
We had some more variables to deal with, and the variables clearly worked in our favor for Benton. But here, this was just clearly underpriced. Considering the condition and the quality, and it shows well, and they've done all the things right, but it seems appropriate on the sale price.
Yep. Okay, well, great. Let me go ahead and move to what we consider a buyer win. We're going to go to 357 Marie Avenue. Started at $699,000, landed at $650,000 for a $59,000 reduction. And I think we may have looked at this as a value. Definitely value. Not in the best condition. So 92% of the list price, 58 days on the market. Let me go ahead and share this. Okay. There we go.
I love it when there's no interior photos, man.
Yeah, it's suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
357 Marie Avenue. This is Highland Park. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 802 square feet of living space. Great price, 640,000. 7,200 square foot lot, it looks like. And 58 days on the market. Brought to us by Silke Fernald. And on the buy side, Judith Bernal. So congrats to them. Darren, just some of the notes here, and I think we highlighted this in one of our live streams. But yeah, it was cash only, probate, complete mess is the guess for me. But nice area, and it's got some views. So
Yeah, somebody will be investing at least a couple $100,000 into this. I mean, it is, simply put, it's a great price.
yeah, yep.
So it's great. I still feel like it was low, but I don't know what the condition of the house was. I'm assuming it'll be built out and made bigger.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go to the last buyer win, and I don't know if you followed this one. I know it's in your neck of the woods. Hold on here. We're gonna go to. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're gonna get it there. Here. So this is 2017 Lakeshore Avenue. List price $2,635,000. Sold price $2,550,000. $85,000 reduction, 97% of the list price. 102 days on the market. Let me go ahead and show this to you guys. All right. All right. So 2017 Lakeshore Avenue. This is Echo Park. It's a 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 3,100 square foot living space. $2,550,000 was the sold price. Almost 7,500 square foot lot. 102 days on the market, as I said. Ken Shapiro represented the listing, and on the buy side, Noga Asil. So congrats to them and their buyer and seller. What do you have to say, man?
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful house. Well done.
Right?
You have a canyon view there. You don't get the downtown view, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's down. It's not the lakeshore up. It's the down.
Yeah, so that would have helped. Definitely would have helped get it sold. They're pushing the prices on Lakeshore and in that Elysian Heights area of Echo Park. And this is one of them. There are a couple of them being built on that street, a few that have sold, and more coming that are pushing to this range. There's a lot of big lots on that street, which makes it nice. So, this is there's specific outdoor space here with decks and patios. It's not a highly accessible lot, although there is a backyard that they carved out off the second story. So, it was a specific buyer, and maybe if it had a broader range of buyers with some other amenities, they could have gotten their price, but still a good price for the neighborhood.
I looked back at the record, and I think they first priced this at $2,795,000.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy there. And then, when I looked back, they bought this in 2018 for like $765,000. So
it's a completely. It was a lot price.
Yeah.
Basically.
I just put overpriced, new build, still surprising price though. It's a good price. And I just question, what took so long, but I think it's obvious. It was the price. Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Let's go ahead and move to your section, new listings in the last 7 days that you think are worthy. Give me what you got, man.
Yeah. First one, 4144 Tracy Street in Los Feliz.
Okay. There it is. Tracy. Bear with. Okay. Screen, slideshow. Okay. 4144 Tracy Street. This is Los Feliz. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,712 square feet of living space. On the market at 1,849,000. 5,158 square foot lot. Opens are, let's see, it looks like 9/24. Is that Saturday? No, that's Sunday. 1 to 3 p.m. And this is 7 days on the market, brought to us by Brock Harris and Lori Harris. All right.
I think it's a good price for the neighborhood and the square footage. Finished house. I see some architectural elements in the house that I like. I'm not quite capturing it all, the pictures. There's a lot of very narrow pictures.
Yeah. Looks
Good
dark
amount of
too.
outdoor pictures that seem a little strange to me, but I do think it's a good price.
Yeah.
And I think it'll get sold pretty quickly at this price point in that neighborhood.
Right. Right. Okay. And what else do you have?
1701 North Avenue 56.
1701 North Avenue 56. All right. Okay. Nice first picture. Okay. 1701 North Avenue 56. This is Highland Park. It is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,578 square foot of living space. On the market at 1,275,000. 6,875 square foot lot. And they have opens on today, 9/21, 5 to 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, the 23rd, 1 to 4 p.m. 7 days on the market. And this is brought to us by Jeremiah Van Cans. All right. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that that room, which I'll just call a family room, and the flow from that room into the outdoor space is what makes the house. It's architecturally appealing. It's got a lot of usable space, but yet, still some hillside elements with change in elevations. It's got architectural aspects to the house itself, which are charming. They've done some really nice finishes inside the house. Some fun stuff. It's got a detached 2-car garage with a good sized driveway to park in.
Yeah.
Solar. It's
man, they really emphasize that family room because it's really the jewel.
It
They
is.
really did.
It is. It's a great spot. I think this will sell really fast.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I never think of it this way. We talk about architectural styles and what appeals to people. This is, right, more or less, it's a craftsman. But more than that, I think that family room just gives it a uniqueness that somebody obviously will fall in love with. It's a unique looking house.
Yeah. It is a corner lot with some, street exposure. That could be a negative, but they've built some big hedges, and that wasn't done recently. It took some time for them to grow. So
Very
it's great.
cool.
It's charming.
Very cool house.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say it's
will...
the best one of the week, in my opinion.
Yep. Do you think it'll go? Yeah, it'll go up.
It will go up. Yeah.
Like a 1.4, maybe.
I could go to 1.5.
Maybe a little higher.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What else out there?
I have one more. 946 Fortune Way.
Fortune Way. Okay. Do I smell mid-century here? What's going All right. Let me share this. All right. So this is 946 Fortune Way. Again, Highland Park, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,700 square feet. Wow. 998,000 list price. Wow. Almost 7,000 square foot lot. Nice size. Today, 5 to 7 open house. And then on Saturday, 2 to 5. the 23rd. Another open house. 3 days on the market only. This is brought to us by Kinga DeRose. What a name. What a great name.
Yeah.
All right. What do you
The one-
think? What's
the
going
one-
on here?
Yeah, the one negative about the Arroyo View Estates, that development
Mm-hmm.
in Highland Park, is that all the lots were pretty small.
Okay.
They are not big lots. You don't have a lot of outdoor destinations. But the houses were good sized and architecturally appealing from that 1960s era. And this has enough of that still existing, in my opinion, to get that energy in the house. Although clearly some of it's been taken away.
Yeah, on the outside, I was a little disappointed, right? There's something more to do outside.
Sure, it's just very stucco box like. Yeah, even on the inside and the grid windows, and there isn't a consistent architectural feel to this house.
Right.
But I believe it can be pulled together and made work. And it's a big house, and it's a ridiculously low price.
Yeah, kind of stupidly low. Yeah. Let me see
Yeah.
if there's any reason for that. Let's see. No. I don't see a reason. No. Offers due September 25th. So pushing that at 8 p.m.
That's what day is the 20th? Is that a Sunday?
Monday.
Or Monday?
It's
Okay,
Monday.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Just lowballing it. There you go.
Yeah. No, this, even in the condition it's in, homes are selling in this area close to the 2 million range in this square footage. So there's a lot of upside here. Again, if you kind of get the same, this falls in the same category as Benton did for us. It could be moved into, but you probably want to do some upgrades that'll really help the house. So this could go to 1.5.
Yeah, that was what I thought too. That's what I thought too. Yeah. All right. Well, that's great, man. Thanks for that. Anything else as we close it out?
No.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 2 p.m. Again, if you like what's going on here, please follow us, like us, suggest us to your friends and enemies. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.